All right, welcome back to some more battles. We are in the Open Great League, and let's see if we can get some wins. So we got the Diggersby lead paired with the Shadow Feraligatr and the Wigglytuff. We're going to switch into the Feraligatr, try to see what they have in the back. We're going to show this first one. It was the close combat, so nice shield. We're going to be able to fire off at least 2 Hydro Cannons here, trying to get to a third. The second one here will get it into the yellow, and now we're going to have to see if we can get a shield or farm down. No, they're going to throw immediately here, and they're going to take us out. Not quite, actually. Farm down. We're going to use our Diggersby here and see if we can get this down. All right, and now we see the Primate come back in. We know their energy dry, so we're going to fire off the Scorching Sand. It does get the shield, and now we have a mirrored wiggly backline, so this is a little bit unfortunate. They are going to shield, and they do get the farm down, unfortunately, and they come out with Icy Wind energy. This is gonna come down to does the Primate already have a move? And yes, it does. So GG's to our opponent. A little bit unlucky. We had the mirror Wiggly at the end right there, and kind of put us in a tough spot. Otherwise, that Wiggly energy potentially could have been used at the Primate. All right, Dunsparce lead here, and they go into their Talonflame. So we're gonna go into our Feraligatr here and throw this move before they get to it. Okay, they just let it go. They want to farm with the Dunsparce, I guess. Dunsparce, unfortunately, has to take another move. So we do get roughly 40% right there. We try to get to another one, unable to. Drill Run does go through, and now we see the Diggersby. They swap out. We have to use our Wiggly here to deal as much damage as possible. Blast Burn goes through, and now their energy dry. We fire off this Scorching Sand. It does get shielded. No debuff, unfortunately. So we're going to use this shield here. So good bait by our opponent. And then we're going to go for this Fire Punch bait. It does grab that second shield. We're going to just shield here because we need the health and energy for this Dunsparce. You can see the Dunsparce is already at another move, but we should survive this Drill Run. We throw the Scorching Sand right here. Does it KO? Not quite, but we get the farm down, and now we're going to be able to reach a Fire Punch back at this Charizard for the win. So GG's to our opponent. Nice double fire team / flyer team that our opponent used. Very, very unique. All right, next we got the Diggersby versus the Guzzlord. Okay. Wish it was in the back, but this is what we have to deal with. We're going to fire off the Scorching Sand first and see what they want to do. They decided to tank it. No debuff, unfortunately. They're going to fire off a Brutal Swing. We can tank that. And they're going to be able to get to another one pretty quickly. We're going to shield here because we feel like they don't want to see this Diggersby in the back. So we go Scorching Sand. They decide to let it go. And now we see the Licky in the back. So we're going to have to just fire off as many Hydro Cannons as possible. They do shield that. So this Licky did not want to see this, didn't want to see the Diggersby. Now we're going to be able to go into our Diggersby to potentially get to 2 Scorching Sands is the goal. Here goes the first one, and does decent damage, but they switch out, and we go into our Wiggly. Potential Dynamic Punch here. So we decide to shield. They go for this Shadow Punch bait, and now we're going to be able to farm down, and that's really nice because now we have energy to throw back at this Licky. The charms are chunking away. This Body Slam doesn't KO, and the 2 charms left does take out the Licky. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that backline with the Wiggly, taking out the Golurk and the Licky. All right, next we got the Diggersby versus Shadow Dragonite. This is gonna be very interesting. They're gonna throw the Dragon Claw. We're gonna fire off this fire punch, and it is resisted, but we are chipping away at it, which is nice. We get them to use some energy here, and we want to know what's in the back, so that's why we decided to shield. There's the Feraligatr. We catch a move onto our own Feraligatr. At this point, we think that there's another water type. Yeah, there's the Toxapex. We've seen this team before. So they banked some energy, and we're gonna have this Feraligatr matchup onto the Toxapex. We deal some decent damage. Oh, and unfortunately, our move does not even show up. And we're just gonna have to see if we can get this last shield somehow. There's the last shield. Trying to get to another move, but they go into their Feraligatr immediately. We do grab that shield. Now we're going to go into the Wiggly. The Wiggly is going to be able to tank one Hydro, but they're still quite healthy, and they're going to be able to reach this next Hydro Cannon for almost a KO. But do we get it low enough that we could farm it down? No, unfortunately. Unable to get the farm down with the Diggersby versus the, I believe it was a regular Feraligatr. If it was Shadow, we definitely could have. So nice play by our opponents. That was a tough team. Dragonite leads. Just apply too much pressure, unfortunately. But we did have the Diggersby with a sliver of chance to win the backline. All right, we got the Diggersby versus the Gastrodon. This is kind of a neutral matchup, depending on if they have Water Pulse or not. So they did build up to it. We're gonna shield and respect it. Okay, they don't have it. Now we're gonna go into our Wiggly versus this Shadow Pidgeot. We're going to tank the first one. They go for the Aerial Ace. And now we're going to go for this Body Slam, which is going to get the shield or the KO. Down goes the Pidgeot. And at this point, we're thinking there's a double flyer. That was a very interesting switching. So they did build up a lot of energy again. And we're going to go into... Okay, there's the double flyer. So we had an Inkling. We're going to see the energy on our Diggersby. Go into the Feraligatr. We do grab a shield. This has a potential to be Shadow Ball, but they go for the Icy Wind bait. That's fine. We're going to go for another Hydro here, and this is going to get the shield or the KO. They decided to use their last shield. And, oh, they do use energy right here, which allows us to get to these Fire Punches much easier. There goes the Fire Punch to take out the Driploom, and now we see the Gastro. We know it was running Earth Power, and that's not going to be enough for the KO. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game. Check out this team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.